to all Israelite groups and all Israelite communities and all breakoffs from One West and breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs, from breakoffs, no matter what rainbow uniform you wear, red, white, purple and white, all white, it don't matter. You should all treat the ISUPK like your weird, misunderstood Sabbaths. You shouldn't do anything until you counsel with the ISUPK. We'll tell you when and what to eat. We'll tell you who to marry. We'll tell you who to have sex with and how. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your wives. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your friends, everybody. We'll tell you when and how to pray. We'll tell you how to direct your life in a way that's pleasing to the Most High God of Israel and our Black King Yahushua, a.k.a. Jesus Christ. We will be to you instead of a God. Just like the Most High told Moses in Exodus 4:16 that Aaron would be to him instead of a mouth and he would be to Aaron instead of a God, that's what we'll do for you. It is what you all need because none of you know what the fuck you are doing. I pray you understand. Shalom.
You mean everything to me because I know you mean everything. You mean everything to me because I know you mean everything to Christ. And Christ means everything to me.
I called on the Lord. I said, "Man, Father, this is real. Will you watch over them? Will you raise them up to be strong? I'm just a man with flesh. This is what you called for in your scriptures. You said they wore studs and fringes, they got it on. You said they will follow the law, they doing it. You said under Yahushua they ought to love one another, and they doing it.
You mean everything to me because
All right. Give one in the chat if y'all can hear me. Shalom. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Barakatah to you brothers. And Shalom Yahweh Shemar Ladah Ba'Shem Yahushua to you sisters. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge in Dallas. Getting ready to give you the Brotherhood class for this Tuesday. The ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, we are not affiliated with any other Israelite group or organization. If it's not the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, it is not of the Lord. Because we've been the only ones since 1969 bring out this truth and awaken our people and awaken blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to who they are. And judging by the Lord's Passover that we had this past Saturday and the Feast of Unleavened Bread the following day, the Most High's message is reaching blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Because even those that weren't with us were wishing they were with us. Brothers and sisters who were in other groups or what have you were looking at us online and wanting to be around us. So I give the Most High hand and all the credit for that, as His word is reaching the masses just like it's supposed to be at this time. Regathering the nation of Israel under Yahushua King, who the world ignorantly knows as Jesus Christ, and giving order to the fact that the Most High, the one y'all call God, we call Yahweh, is the one in charge of everything. All right, even Christ knew that. So, speaking of the Most High, and speaking of Christ, Today we're going to show you what a con that this so-called holiday that some of you all that are in the church are still dealing with, even though y'all was supposed to be celebrating the Passover too with us. Just to let you know how behind and how proud y'all are. You all that still go to the church on Sundays and don't know the Lord. Y'all do not know the Most High. You don't know Christ. Proof of it is the fact that you went to church on Sunday. More proof of it is the fact that you celebrated and gave reverence to this pagan holiday known as Easter at the same weekend of the Lord's Passover, which Christ kept. Christ kept the Passover. He didn't keep Easter. That one scripture y'all read in the scriptures in Acts, where you see the word Easter, everybody knows that's a mistranslation. If you just had even a simple Bible study tool, they would tell you that the Greek word there is Pascha, which is the Hebrew word Pesach, which means Passover. So take away that one time Easter is said in the Bible, which was really the Passover. You won't find Easter in the scriptures. Why? Because it was a Babylonian holiday. Shalom, Officer Zakarwan, Officer Gadal Ahmad. Shalom to you Hebrews, you warriors, man. Yahbashim Yahshua Brakatah to you both. Hey, Sister Shara Yaquar. Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, sis. I don't think I saw you at the Passover, sis. Were you at the Passover? Get in the comment. When you get back to the comments, answer that for me. See, were you at the Passover in Houston this weekend? Okay. But this being the brotherhood class, we're gonna be brotherly today and tell you that you're not supposed to be celebrating Easter. You're not supposed to be celebrating any of these pagan holidays. You're supposed to move as the Most High wants. You're supposed to fear the Most High. You're supposed to honor our King, which is Christ. Go ahead, 1 Peter 2 and 17, get us started.
Sir, this is the book of 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 17. Honor all men, love the brotherhood, fear God, honor the King.
Fear the Most High, honor the King, which is Christ. Tells you that right in the scripture. We start every brotherhood class with that scripture. Fear the Most High, honor the King. Because the Most High was the one who gave you the King. He gave you Christ. He gave you the Davidic line that was going to serve him, that's supposed to be the King of Israel, even to this day. You know what I'm saying? The throne is David's family. Every man that comes from that line is supposed to be ruling Israel right now. Ruling the Israelites right now. And the fact that we don't have David's line in Israel right now, we got a whole bunch of imposters in there, terrorists, because that's all Amalek is. He's a terrorist, and Israel now is a terrorist state. It's only going to be allowed to be one for just a little while longer for the Most High to fulfill prophecy, and then ultimately he's going to destroy that damn place and cleanse it. Cleanse it so blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans can have their home back. The land he set aside for us. He didn't want them gutter rats in our home, but we wouldn't act right, so there they are. You know, so they're there, and they can't stand that we're there. It's a few brothers and sisters that went back to Israel in the 60s, and they've been trying to kill all of them ever since they got there, over there in the Negev region, all of Benamis followers. Now, them Ethiopians are there too. Now, they're not Jews, they're Hamites, but they claim to be Jewish, which they can. Hell, the so-called white man can. I don't see why they can't. And they've been trying to sterilize them damn Ethiopians ever since they've been there. And we ain't even talk about what they've done to the Palestinians ever since they've been there. Them people are terrorists. Every one of them criminals, man. They don't belong in our land. It ain't their land. Hey, shalom, Sister Kaibath. How you doing? From D.C. Shalom to you, sis. But we're gonna deal with that. We're gonna deal with that pagan holiday, Easter. It's a trip. The Israelis up there in our land and around the world celebrating the holy days that we're supposed to be celebrating, and the Lord ain't thinking about them. He don't care about them people, man. Tells you that in the scriptures. And we're sitting up here following after because we've got horrible leadership, a bunch of sellouts, and a bunch of whores for leaders, and have everything, for as long as we've been here, for the most part, that we're sitting around dealing with days that mean nothing. Days like Easter that have no meaning to us, that had no meaning to our history, nothing to do with the Black, Hispanic, or Native American, and yet try to talk our people into not celebrating it. They're gonna look for every reason to tell. What's the most popular reason? What's the most popular reason?
The kids.
Yeah, there it is. It's for the kids. That's the most popular reason. What's the second most popular one? Y'all are in the comment section. What's the second most popular reason our people will give you and defend this bullshit? Most popular is for the kids. Yeah, there you go. Zakar ones are the kids. What's the second most popular one? Anybody got it? Okay, give me another answer here besides the kids. The kids is correct. Shout out Officer Hatazan here and Officer Zakar one. They got that. But what's another popular one they give you to celebrate these days? Even though they mean nothing and they ain't got nothing to do with us. Everybody give up? Come on, there you go, Zakar one tradition. There you go. Zakar one's on top of it. Give me Amos 5 and 21. Zakar one's all the way on top of it. I know that's a man of the Lord right there, Officer Zakar one. Go on in, man. Getting this scholarship up. I see you. Go on in your Amos 5 and 21.
So this book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
Most High says he hate and despise your feast days. In other words, Easter is a feast day. May not be ours, but we celebrate it, do we not? Our people that are in darkness, they celebrate it. It's for the kids, or it's just tradition. It don't mean no. The Lord hates it. Do y'all see how being Christian and following the ways of America, can y'all at least spiritually see how that's turning you against God? Everything God said do, Christianity tells you not to do. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said don't mingle with or marry the nations. Christianity says it's all love. You can be with whoever we want. If I love this white woman or this Asian woman or this African woman, I can love her. I can marry her. The Lord loves the Israelites. Christianity tells you God loves everybody. Y'all don't see how this stuff contradicts with one another? The Lord said don't eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Christianity says you can eat it. Pork is the other white meat. Shrimp, crab, and lobster, it's a delicacy. You know what I'm saying? In the Bible, it's an abomination, but they say it's a delicacy. And then they still want to tell you that the same God is going to love them, keep forgiving them, and is going to open the kingdom of heaven, and everybody's going to be up there in white, kissing and hugging one another. None of that is in the Bible. None of it. Old and New Testament, the only thing you heading to is damnation if you don't get right and do what the Lord says. And by damnation, I'm talking about the grave. And then when you come back, you're going to have hell to pay, man. Because you are going to come back. And for you Christians that are listening, yes, reincarnation is real. It's amazing y'all follow an entire religion, and the star of that religion, white Jesus, died and was resurrected according to you all, and yet y'all can't believe, y'all have a hard time believing in reincarnation when you all's whole religion deals with reincarnation. Read 5, Amos 5 and 21 again.
Kalakazar, this is the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21.
Salakia, shalom to Brother Samuel and Brother Victor. Good to see y'all you brothers checking in, man. Shalom to y'all. Go ahead.
I despise your feast days.
He hates and despises your feast days. He says your feast days because God didn't authorize this. He didn't authorize Easter. Just like he didn't authorize Christmas or Thanksgiving or Columbus Day or Veterans Day, 4th of July, St. Patrick's Day. He ain't authorized any of this. New Year's, Valentine's Day. None of this is of the Lord. This is vain traditions. Go ahead.
And I will not smell in your solemn assembly.
He will not smell in our solemn assemblies, man, because he's not with us when we celebrate these days. He's with us when you celebrate what he told you to celebrate. Everybody that wasn't in Houston this past Saturday for the Lord's Passover, y'all the ones that, that are not listening to the Most High. Now, if you did it for, medical reasons or what have you, that's fine, but I'm talking to brothers that are not in the ISUPK, sisters that are not in the ISUPK, but know that they're Israel and know that they're supposed to be celebrating the Passover. They're supposed to be bringing in the Passover with their brothers and their sisters. They'll go online, you'll see all the pictures, you'll see all the videos, and you're the only ones invited, man. That's the wonderful thing about it. We don't let nobody in. We don't let just everybody in. You got to be so-called Negro, you got to be West Indian, you've got to be so-called Native American or First Nation, or you got to be Latino coming from the Negro or the Native American. Otherwise, you can't get in. You're done. This year we had a white man kissing boots, a white woman who couldn't get in, and we literally threw an African out because he wasn't supposed to be there. This is for our people, and and we hold this, following the orders of our God, the supreme power, Yahweh. Okay, can you take me to Revelations 17 and 2? Hey, shalom, Brother Charles. How you doing? Yahweh Shabbat. Revelation 17 and 2.
Kalakas. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 2. With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with wine of her fornication.
So, the kings of the earth, that's dealing with the nations. That's dealing with all, all non-Israelite people, including the Israelis, the gutter rats. That's talking about them. They done made themselves drunk off the wine of her fornication. That the her and that is talking about America. It's talking about America and its allies. It's like, the Great Britain, like Israel, its allies. That's what that scripture is dealing with. They done got drunk on all these traditions and all this fornication and all this lawlessness and immorality that goes on on this side. They done made themselves drunk with this, you know what I'm saying? Constantly celebrating Easter, bunnies laying eggs, which last time I checked, bunnies were mammals and didn't lay eggs. Am I missing something there?
Awesome.
Yeah. That's why I always laugh. That's why I always laugh at people that call us a cult, yet they celebrate Easter. We the cult, though. Okay. But no. Getting our spirit out of this America is going to be the number one thing that saves us. We got to get out of this spirit of doing as the nations do and just do as the Lord commanded. Let's go read second verse again.
Karl Kaiser, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 2. With whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
Go ahead and read verse 3.
Karl Kaiser, verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
The 7 heads, of course, are America's allies, the common market nations, the EU, all that, the 7 heads and the 10 horns. Go ahead, verse 4.
Karl Kaiser, verse 4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. You brothers and sisters that are watching live, what is that dealing with? When it says a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. We're in Revelation 17. We're on the 17th chapter, 4th verse. And you brothers and sisters want to take a shot at that? I'm tempted to read this whole chapter, but I'm going to leave it after about a couple more verses. Okay, when it's talking about Zakarwan, that's part of it, the sins. Everything else that they did done in wickedness in this land. The gold and precious stones and pearls, having gold, the golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And part of that is Easter. Easter is a Babylonian holiday. That was going on that was put into the earth by the ancient Babylonians. You read about it in Genesis, not so much the holiday itself, but everything that was going on with Babylon and Genesis. That's where we got Nimrod, and that's where you got one of the earliest enemies of the Most High, because he built the Tower of Babel and wanted to take on the Most High. He wanted to defy the Most High by bringing all nations and people together so he can rule. So Nimrod was very much in the spirit of the adversary, and Easter was one of his days that he held. Go ahead and read verse 5. Karl Kaiser, verse 5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Okay, so that lets you know who we're talking about. We're not talking about ancient Babylon, because ancient Babylon was destroyed already. That's how the Medes and the Persians came into power. You read about that in the Old Testament. But we're in the book of Revelations, which we know John the Revelator wrote that while he was in prison. Hey, Shalom, Trooper Lav Karash. What's going on, Hebrew? We know that he was we know he was in prison in the island of Patmos when he saw this revelation. So that's not talking about ancient Babylon. Ancient Babylon went down long before John the Revelator. Now this is dealing with the new Babylon, and that's this kingdom. America's traditions, the majority of them go back to ancient Babylon. A little bit of their fathers, the Roman Empire, mixed in.
A little bit of Sodom and Gomorrah mixed in because of all the homosexuality and the fact that we now have, apparently we now have 12 genders in the world, thanks to Esau and his nonsense. Because the Most High ain't the author of confusion. We only got 2 genders as far as I'm concerned, men and women. Unless there's any more, did I leave any out? Did I leave any genders out? Men and women.
Law, sir.
Male and female. All right, go ahead with verse 6.
Kawakaze. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints, and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration.
Take me to Job 9 and 24. I'm going to go ahead and get out of Revelation, but that's a future class. I want to do something and let y'all know what happened to each of Christ's disciples. You know what I'm saying? How all of them met their end. That's a class for a day, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to go ahead and continue. Because these other nations have gone confederate with America, just like you read in Psalms 83. And they've gone out there, they've produced lies and they've taught lies, teaching you that there's more than 2 genders, teaching that they mean, so-called white men were the great builders of societies. None of that is true. The Christian doctrine is a big part of that. It's a big part of our brainwashing, or I should say brain polluting. But we're coming out of that. You on Job 9 and 24?
Kawakaze.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And who runs the earth? It's certainly not us. Certainly not so-called Negroes. It certainly ain't West Indians. It ain't the Native American and Seminole Indians. It ain't the Latinos. We don't run the earth. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and we know who the wicked is. The wicked is the same people telling y'all to celebrate Easter instead of the Passover. The wicked are the same people telling y'all to celebrate Christmas instead of Hanukkah or the Feast of Dedication. The same people telling you that you ain't them people. They're telling you that even today. When the Bible and history is telling you that those are your people. And we done shook up the world, and we done got this whole world concerned, all because of this truth that we're bringing out. Think about it. Why would so-called white people who run the world right now care about niggas just going around saying that we're the Jews? Why? And doubling down by telling you ain't no white man ever been a Jew and ain't gonna ever be a Jew. Why would they concern themselves with that if we were just up here telling lies? They're concerned with it because the truth is coming out, and the more we buy into it, the less of a grip they're gonna have on us. The less their power is gonna be. That's the beginning of the end of their power, and that concerns them. Go ahead and Khan, that's right. Absolutely right. They're gonna lose power that way. All their power is gonna be broken on that day. Go ahead and finish that verse.
Kawakaze. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
He covered the faces of the judges thereof. What does that mean? Khan, Esau, brother Charles, you got it right. But answer this. What does it mean in Job 9 and 24 when it tells you that he covered the faces of the judges thereof? Let me get one of our new brothers to answer that. I know brothers like Officer Zakarwan and Officer Gadal Ahmad already know the answer to that. What does that mean when it says in Job 9 and 24 that he covered the faces of the judges thereof? Give you brothers another minute. Any of you sisters, you got it? There you go. Excellent job. Brother Victor, excellent job. They painted the prophets as white people. Exactly. Give Brother Victor a hand. When they paint the prophets and when they paint Christ and the angels as white people, they are not only lying, but they're appropriating your culture. It's the same. It's almost as bad as when they tell y'all they invented every damn thing and that they do everything better than you. It's all a lie. It's all a lie. So-called white men don't do anything better than blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans. Not a thing. Other than be the wicked on the earth and be the murderers on the earth and the rapists on the earth and the destroyers of the earth. That's it. He's been so good at it, he's got us to destroy each other. Black on black crime, brown on brown crime. What they do on the reservations, the brothers, the evil they do to other brothers and sisters. All that is because the wicked is running the earth. We didn't create our own poverty, you know what I'm saying? We didn't take away the jobs, we didn't put the drugs in the neighborhood. At least in the beginning. We're doing it now, being foolish and stupid, trying to make money or what have you. But we weren't the ones who began the drug trade. We're still in Job 9 and 24. Go ahead and finish that.
Karakatsu. If not, where and who is he?
If he's not the wicked, so-called white man, just where and who is he? Who's done more wicked works than them? Let's just be honest. And if it's any of you so-called white people here watching, go ahead and answer. I don't care if you troll, go ahead. Answer the question, who's done more wickedness than you? Change the paintings of the prophets and of Christ, exactly. Brother Charles, you might want to cut your spell check on, because you got a couple of words misspelled. You throw me for a loop when you did Christy there, but I know you're talking about Christ. All right. If Esau ain't the wicked on the earth, then who is? Here's how wicked he is. The whole book of Obadiah is a prophecy against the Edomites, so-called white people. Now, the Most High may not give a damn about the nations, but he didn't make a whole book prophesying one by one these particular nations, but he did make one prophesying about so-called white man. Calls them the wicked, calls them the devil, says he ain't a man and he ain't a person, all that. Yeah, white Jesus, white Moses, white disciples. It's all due to white supremacist ideology, and it only shows them the wicked. Because all you have to do is go back into Russian icons, see the earliest paintings of the Israelite prophets. All you're going to see is Negroes. We have the books, so you can't tell us shit. We done seen all the evidence. Brothers like Commanding General Yohana used to make regular trips to the Middle East, to Israel, to Turkey, to Egypt, with one of his teachers, the head priest Kazak, and saw all the archaeology and saw all the information. So y'all can't tell the ISUPK any damn thing. We know what the earliest pictures of the prophets look like. We know this Bible. We know this Bible is our history. And it's a way for us to get our dignity back and get our power back. And the nations hate us for it. Give me Romans 1 and 25.
Holocaust.
We're going to stand bold and we're going to teach this truth. No matter what. How does Russian icons, they have started whitewashing. They started whitewashing that too. I'm sure they have. I'm sure they have. They just playing their role. You got to understand, once you know the truth, you look at that entire nation of people differently. You know what I'm saying? You quit upholding them for worship and upholding them for their good and seeing them for who they really are. And if you keep telling them they're the devil and keep telling them that they're liars, they're gonna get real. The real them is gonna come out, and they're gonna be calling you the words they call you in private, even to this day. Don't think for a minute that one of them is righteous, and think for 1 minute that they are this all-loving people that pretend to be. They're not. Because if they were, they would have left this land and gave it back to the Native Americans long time ago. Go ahead, Romans 1:25.
Kawakazi. This is the book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 25. Who changed the truth of God into a lie?
Who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie? That's what you got to ask yourself. Who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie? Who taught you that Christ was white? Who taught you that the angels were white and looked like little babies? Which all that goes back to ancient Rome and ancient Greece. Who taught you that your prophets were all white people, which is still trying to move? That Google the prophets now, and they're still gonna show you pictures of white folks. We know better now. You know what I'm saying? So the scripture's asking, who changed the truth into a lie? Who made Easter a holiday? Go ahead.
Holocaust. And worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever, so be it.
Okay, so who worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator? When you're celebrating Easter, you are celebrating the creature. You know what I'm saying? You're celebrating the beast. You're basically wearing the mark of the beast. The Most High calls all the nations beast. When you're reading beast in the scriptures, it's always synonymous with the other nations. All right, read that again. Romans 1:25, all the way through.
Sorry, what was it?
Just give Romans 1:25 again.
Kawakazi. This book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 25. Who changed the truth of God into a lie and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever, so be it.
All right, next verse.
Verse 26. For this cause God gave them up unto vile affections. For even their woman did change the natural use into that which is against nature. Okay,
so he didn't change the truth into a lie, and he's changed the natural use of woman to what's against nature. What does that mean? That kind of goes back to Easter in a way, because the Greeks called it Ishtar, and that's where the term Easter came from. And the goddess Ishtar goes back to Babylon, who I forget where, Semiramis, I think her name was, and she was a whore. Slept with men, slept with women, had plenty of so-called lovers. She was a whore, all the way through, straight up and down. And here it's telling you that even the women changed their natural use into which is against nature. Our women used to know it was a sin to be a whore, and it was a sin to be a lesbian. Look at our women today. The more that they're more ingrained into American society, you can't hardly find a woman out there in the world that hasn't been with about 100 different men and probably and almost as many women. It's disgusting to think about, but it's the truth. ahead and give me verse 27.
Kamikaze.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Victor. Our women getting it worse and worse. They're getting worse and worse every day. Definitely. They don't even want to listen to righteousness no more. Go ahead.
Kamikaze, verse 27. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burning in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was meet.
So, men done left the natural use of a woman, which you're supposed to ride down your woman. You're supposed to create kids and create families. You're supposed to create kids and create families with women, and yet a lot of these men have been told, and they've been told that it's okay to be with a man. What you got to ask is, did the Lord ever say it was okay for you to be a man and be with a man? That's what you got to ask yourself. Go ahead. Go ahead and get that last verse, verse 28.
Kamikaze, verse 28. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient.
In other words, he sees that you're doing evil, but right now, he's going to let you go on and doing that evil until it's time for judgment. He's not going to keep twisting your arm. He done long showed you, and you can tell naturally a woman ain't supposed to be with a woman and a man ain't supposed to be with a man. You see that naturally. Let me ask y'all something. What's the only way two homos could even have a baby? For two homos to be, even for two homosexuals to have a child without adopting, what has to happen?
They have to have a surrogate.
Say it again.
They have to have a surrogate.
That's correct. They have to have a surrogate, meaning a woman got to be involved, right?
Or a cow.
Can't get no egg no other way. There's no sack of eggs in a man's anus. You know what I'm saying? Even on a natural level, say two women. What's the only way without adopting? What's the only way two dykes can have a damn child?
Through a surrogate parent.
Say that again?
Through a surrogate parent.
Through a surrogate parent, yeah. And by surrogate parent, you're talking about what?
A surrogate sperm donor.
Sperm donor, there you go. Got to have a sperm. Got to have a sperm, and where does that sperm coming from? Hey, Shalom, Trooper Gabar what's going on, Hebrew? Coming in from Lafayette, Louisiana. Shalom, warrior. Where's that sperm coming from?
A man.
It's coming from a man. You have to have a man and a woman naturally to make a baby. Period. Any other way is off. It was always meant to be a man and a woman getting together, having a baby, raising children. Now, I won't even have the conversation about men having more women. We'll just deal with one woman right now. We'll just deal with that part for this lesson. Naturally, a man and a woman are supposed to get together and have kids and raise families. There's no eggs in a man's butt. There's no sperm on a woman's tongue. So naturally, it ain't supposed to be no homosexual or lesbian relationships going on. Just on a natural level. And the scriptures we just read just tells you That's man's own invention. The Lord didn't have it that way. Man ain't supposed to be with man, woman ain't supposed to be with woman. Want more proof of it? Just take 100,000 dykes and put them on an island with everything they're gonna need to survive, to eat and sleep and whatever, and live. Then come back in 50 years and see if they've reproduced. Do the same thing with 50. You can do that the same thing with 100,000 homos. Put them somewhere on an island. Like they keep finding islands when they do the Jurassic Park movies, right? They keep finding these islands somewhere for them to bring back these big mega reptiles, these dinosaurs. Let's say we have an island somewhere, one for all the homosexual men, one for all the lesbian women. Then come back in 50 years and see if they've reproduced. On an island where they don't have access to surrogates, they can't get the dykes can't get sperm, the homos can't get eggs anywhere. See if they reproduce naturally. It won't happen because it was never supposed to be that way. We're not scared of woke culture over here. We're gonna stand on the truth. It was never supposed to be men with men, women with women. But it's the spirit of that God and that philosophy is why you have Easter right now. And we're not supposed to be dealing with it. Go to Genesis 10. We'll start at verse 8.
What book?
Book of Genesis, chapter 10.
Kamikaze, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 8, verse 10.
10 verse 8.
Slack it. Chapter 10, verse 8. And Cush begat Nimrod.
I'm bringing this scripture out because this is where all your Easter and all your nonsense came from. Go ahead.
Kamikaze. He began to be a mighty one in the earth.
So Nimrod is from Cush's line, and Cush comes from Ham's line. So Nimrod was an African. You'd call him today a lowland or a mainland African. And he began to be a mighty one. Go ahead.
Verse 9. He was a mighty hunter before Yahweh. Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod the mighty hunter before Yahweh.
Next verse.
Verse 10. At the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, and Urch, and Akkad, and Calneh, in the land of Shinar.
So we're talking about Babel, where he built the tower. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the beginning of his kingdom, and it was the beginning of where it was the beginning where we got all these philosophies and all these vain holidays. Take me to Exodus. Exodus 20, verse 5.
Kamikaze, this is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, Yahweh, thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
Okay, so the reason I'm bringing this out is because even when, mighty men like Nimrod come into the earth, you're not supposed to subject yourselves to them. I mean, if they're in charge, you have to deal with what they have to say at certain points, and at the sense of where you paying tribute or what have you. But you're not supposed to give your spirit to them. You're not supposed to give all your heart to him, and you're not supposed to put his ways over the Lord. That's the way you're supposed to deal. We here in the United States of America, a condemned country, a condemned empire, and they're telling you that Easter is the holiday you're supposed to be serving. But what about the Passover? Y'all see the witchcraft that's been played on our people? Ain't none of them talked about celebrating the Passover. In our simplicity, we'll sit up there and say, that's a Jewish holiday. And then you ask them, what is Jewish and what does that mean? And of course, you're going to get all kinds of foolery. Not even knowing that when you're saying Jewish, you're acknowledging that the people calling themselves Jews are not the real Jews. Hey, question here from Brother Victor. He said he had a question about that. Why do women now starting to hate their man being with another man if they have been fighting for men to be favor of homos? I'm barely understanding the question there, Brother Victor. Kind of simplify for me. Break it down a little bit. Go ahead.
Sark, if I may, what I believe he's asking is, why is it that women are now going on the internet being super mad and against the LGBT movement when beforehand they were the ones who were completely for it, like they're the ones supporting it before, but now because a bunch of men are leaving to be with other men, now they're against it, because he's actually about the hypocrisy.
Okay, there's a scriptural answer for that, but I guess I'm trying to get the question. What he's saying is, women, of course, because they're simple, were the number one, our women were the number one supporters of the LGBT movement, but now they're mad because men would rather be with other men than them.
Oh, okay.
Is that what he's trying to say?
I believe so.
Because our women are simple as hell, and they believe that if a man is not with them, he's got to be with another man. In a lot of the situations, that ain't even true. Men I know these days are just trying to protect their peace. They hear women say all manner of BS on social media, and men, brothers included, just ask themselves, why get involved with this kind of mess? You know what I'm saying? A normal guy, in order to get a woman to give him her whole heart and allegiance, this brother got to be making a 6-figure salary. He's got to be 6 feet tall. He's got to have 6-pack abs. He's got to have a rod as long as this ram's horn, and it must stay hard at all times, I guess. And the brother has to pretty much turn himself into a mythical figure. You know what I'm saying? He's got to have superhuman strength. He's got to have superhuman speed. He's got to have powered flight. He's got to have an undying body. And he's got to be raised on Earth and coming from another planet on a hard-boiled egg and shit. That's for them. That's what they say they want to marry. And of course, even though they're all looking for the same man, they don't even want any thoughts of sharing. They want one for their own, like it's a tree where these niggas grow. You know what I'm saying? Like somewhere there's a city full of these type of men just looking for women to marry. And even if they find that man, they just swear he's gonna want her, even though she done been ran through by about 100 or 200 men. She got 6 kids by 5 different niggas. She's in her 40s. And because brothers ain't dealing with a whole lot of that madness, they just swear that the brothers are gay. Now, it's an abomination for a man to be gay and always was. And for sisters like that, I would just ask them, why were y'all so willing to raise and produce either gay or overly emotional men? That's what I would ask. Didn't want to listen to anybody tell you that you have to marry a man and stay with that man, especially if you have kids, and make sure that the child is raised in a coalition of 2 parents where he has mother and father. We've been trying to people have been telling these simple minds that ever since they were little, at least a few generations ago. Nowadays, now that, the sisters done been getting taken care of by the government, they don't listen to no man. So they pretty much open the door to this whole little folly that we have with the LGBT community. And now they're mad because the brothers, in her mind, the brothers don't want them no more. When really, all the brothers, particularly the straight ones, all they want is peace. Them brothers ain't asking for a whole lot. They just want peace. Get me the book of Kings, 2 Kings 17th chapter and 16th verse.
Kawakaza, this is the book of 2 Kings, chapter 17, verse 16. And they left all the commandments of Yahweh their God, and made them molten images, even 2 calves, and made a grove, and worshipped all the hosts of heaven, and served Baal.
Read that again.
Kawakaza, this is the book of 2 Kings, chapter 17, verse 16. And they left all the commandments of Yahweh their God, and made them molten images, even 2 calves, and made a grove, and worshipped all the hosts of heaven.
When they say
and served Baal.
When they said worshipped all the hosts of heaven, they talking about the gods of this earth. When y'all celebrating Easter, you're celebrating a goddess. You're celebrating Ishtar. You know what I'm saying? Originally Semiramis. Same goddess, really. And served Baal, another false god who was a man. You're getting into worship of idols, and y'all know how much the Most High hates idol worship. He wants all the credit, and he deserves all the credit. His favor you're not supposed to share with anyone. These sisters nowadays sharing a man with another man. Not as often. There's definitely cases of that, but not as often as they portray it. It's too many brothers in that LGBTQ nonsense, but not as often as these sisters portray it. That's madness. No more than they are. It's plenty of these women out here, mothers, and will sit up there and let another woman go down on them. And of course, at the moment, they don't find anything wrong with that. When the Lord said it was wrong. Get to verse 17.
Cause for verse 17. And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire, and used divination and enchantments, and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of Yahweh, to provoke him to anger.
And that's what y'all doing every time y'all go to that church on Sunday. Every time y'all go to that church on Sunday, you're provoking the Lord to anger. Because he said the Sabbath day was Saturday, not Sunday. Y'all are following the ways of Rome, because it was the Roman Catholics that gave you a Sunday Sabbath. The Lord gave you so-called Negroes a Saturday Sabbath, what you would call Saturday today. Friday night sundown to Saturday night sundown. That's your Sabbath day. So in the 16th verse, how you serving Baal. Baal and Nimrod might as well be the same God. And both of them are the gateway to Satan. We got to put away, not only with Easter, we got to put away with all things that we got here from the host of heaven, if you will, i.e. the earth. All, this captivity, this empire that we're in, because it has nothing to do with us. It was never ours, and it's not about our people. And quit making yourselves into get over this whole Stockholm syndrome y'all got, wanting to love the very oppressor that told you that you don't mean a damn thing. They told told you for the longest time you're less than human. And yet y'all want to be equal in him, and the Lord has made you better than him in every way. Every so-called black and brown man is better than the so-called white man at everything. The only thing they can do better than you is be wicked and be liars and deceivers. You want us to break that down, we can. It's time to do away with Easter and every damn thing else that ain't godly and just deal with the truth. Deal with the Most High. Give me St. John 4:24. Let's go there real quick. Matter of fact, let's start. Yeah, we'll go with 24. This is the word. Listen to the words of Christ. Go ahead. St. John 4:24.
Sir, this is the book of St. John, chapter 4, verse 24. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
In what?
In spirit and in truth.
You gotta worship the Most High in spirit and in truth. You can't keep bringing yourself to church and keeping the traditions of men and think that the Lord is going to bless you for that. If you're getting a blessing, it ain't come from the Most High. That's Satan blessing you. Y'all got to understand that. Y'all in the church have got to come and deal with the Lord the way he said deal with him, not the way you in your heart and in your mind want to deal with him, because he don't deal that way. I mean, a lot of y'all that are in the churches, y'all are parents. Are y'all going to allow y'all kids to keep doing what y'all tell them not to do? And not listen to y'all? Y'all should treat the Most High the same way. Like we're saying, the whole thing with Easter goes back to Babylonian worship. You know what I'm saying? Goes back to Nimrod, goes back to Semiramis, goes back to Tammuz. If I ain't mistaken, Nimrod and Semiramis were actually related. If I ain't mistaken, was not Nimrod Semiramis' son?
Okay, I'm not sure.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that he was the son of Semiramis. They had some kind of relation before he went into it. That's just disgusting. Only an African would do it too. Or the nations, period. Esau would do it. They did it in the caves. All that disgusting is for the nations, but they got Tammuz out of it. Give me Ezekiel 8 and 13. Back into the Old Testament.
So this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 8, verse 18.
13.
Verse 13. He said also unto me, Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations that they do.
What's an abomination? What is an abomination? Look up abomination. Hold where you at. Look up abomination for me. What is an abomination? You brothers that are in the chat. Most High calling them. Yeah. Good job, Brother Vic. Something wicked. Go. What else? Who's got a better answer than that? Unholy. We can call that correct. Unholy. Disgusting to the Most High. Exactly. That's a good one, Officer Goodall. What's going on, Warrior? Did you look it up?
Call, sir.
Go ahead.
An abomination is a thing, action, or person that causes extreme disgust, hatred, or loathing.
Listen to what Officer Hadazan is saying right there. He's gonna say that again. Go ahead.
Call, sir. An abomination is a thing, action, or person that causes extreme disgust, hatred, or loathing.
Extreme disgust or loathing. In other words, the Lord hates it. You know what I'm saying? We're dealing with Easter and Easter eggs and the whole Easter tradition is an abomination. I'm telling y'all, Israel, you before y'all came in this truth, and us, period, we've been conned, man. Being one with this society makes you an enemy of the Lord. And we're reading about it right now. If y'all stand with me and staying patient with me, I know I got people trying to draw me away by texting me or what have you, but if y'all stand with me and you're understanding this, you understand that the Lord hates this stuff. Read that again in Ezekiel 8:13. Ezekiel 8:13 one more time.
So this book of Ezekiel, chapter 8, verse 13. He said also unto me, turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations that they do.
Verse 14.
Verse 14. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of Yahweh's house, which was toward the north. And behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz.
Tammuz is the son of Nimrod and Semiramis. You know what I'm saying? In fact, you know the picture of the so-called Virgin Mary and Christ, the white picture? Long before that, there was a picture of, in ancient Babylon, of Semiramis and Tammuz, baby Tammuz. Letting y'all know that the whole thing, and that's supposed to be an immaculate conception child too. That's another story, but a lot of them traditions Christianity picked up came from ancient Babylon, as well as ancient Rome. Hell, the whole hell concept came from ancient Rome, with Dante's Inferno and everything. All the traditions, Christmas, Sunday worship, all this came from Babylon and Rome, because that's where Sunday church and Sunday worship came in. Celebration of the sun god, which even that traces all the way back to Babylon before the time of ancient Rome. So I would implore brothers who have family members, if you can't get them to watch this video, show them in the scriptures and in history that what they're doing is not nothing new. You're making yourself an enemy to your own God. You're being conned. You've been made a part of a grand deception. Easter is a con, man. Most High never gave you Easter. He gave you the Passover. Y'all were supposed to be with us. What cons of Carwan? The Greeks and the Romans were the same people. Yeah. The Greeks had another name for it, but the Greeks and the Romans, those are two Edomite empires. They may have came from different lands, but they're the same people. bit to go. We're still in Ezekiel, right?
Kalakasa.
Verse 14. And no, it's like 15.
Kalakasa. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 8, verse 15. Then said he unto me, Hast thou seen this, O son of man? Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations than these.
Next verse.
Verse 16. And he brought me into the inner court of Yahweh's house, and behold, at the door of the temple of Yahweh, between the porch and the altar, were about 25 men with their backs toward the temple of Yahweh, and their faces towards the east. And they worshipped the sun toward the east.
This is sun god worship. This is an abomination to the Most High. Y'all understand? Worshiping Tammuz, the baby of Nimrod and Semiramis. And Tammuz is why you have the whole tradition of Easter, as well as Christmas. These brothers and sisters are bringing the Most High. Go ahead, read the next verse, verse 17.
Kalakasa. Verse 17. Then he said unto me, Hast thou seen this, O son of man? Is it a light thing to the house of Judah that they commit the abominations which they commit here?
What do you call them? Commit the what?
Abominations.
Commit the abominations. We already discovered those are filthy, wicked acts that anger the Most High. Go ahead.
For they have filled the land with violence, and have returned to provoke me to anger. And lo, they put the branch to their nose.
So they're provoking the Most High to anger. You know, the number one thing that provokes the Most High to anger is worship of another God. Because it was the Most High that was always with us. Got us out of captivity in Egypt, got us out of captivity in ancient Babylon. I mean, he's always come through for us. And what do? We turn around and commit spiritual fornication against him by worshiping. Right here we're reading worshiping Tammuz, the sun god. Big reason y'all even have your Easter and your Christmas celebrations, all of which going back to ancient Babylon, and of course later on was adopted by the Roman Catholic Church. And through your Roman Catholic Church, you got each branch of Christianity. Don't care which one. Don't spare me telling me that you got a different branch of Christianity. It don't matter. Whether you were Anglican, whether you were Baptist, whether you were Methodist, or even non-denominational, it all came out the Roman Catholic Church. Every bit of it. So your Christian church is no different. It's an abomination to the Lord. Because those traditions all come back to the Roman Catholic Church, and before that, ancient Babylon. Let's get Matthew 15 and 8.
Kalakah. This book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 8.
And we're going to get some definite understanding in this because we're getting the words of Christ.
This people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me.
Next verse.
Verse 9. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men.
Make sure y'all highlight these verses. Y'all gonna need these in battle. You brothers that are already officers, you're gonna need this one when we on the streets. Matthew 15 and 8 through 9. I'll have them read them again a little bit, but y'all need these. And you brothers that are coming in, like Brother Victor and like Brother Charlie, y'all gonna need these. Matthew 15 and 8, verse 9, because this is our people to a T. Blacks and Hispanics want to follow God, but they only want to follow him according to what they want. And their heart is already in Christianity. You know what I'm saying? We got to get them out of that and on to get to knowing the Most High for real, for real. Because if they knew the Most High would not be on board with church nonsense and everything that came out of the Christian church, which is Roman and Babylonian in origin, and the Lord didn't give a damn about the Babylonians or the Romans. So yeah, you're gonna need these in battle. When y'all brothers that are just coming in, when y'all are bringing this truth to your Christian families, you're gonna read the words of Christ and you're gonna read this scripture for sure. Go ahead and read them again. Matthew 15, 8 and 9. The words of Jesus Christ. Go ahead. Read it again. Matthew 15, 8 and 9.
So this is the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 8. The people draw nigh unto me with their mouth, and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me.
Hold on one second. So basically, y'all got them family members. I know so-called Negroes have them, especially them women in them churches. Praise Jesus, hallelujah, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Undecipherable tongues and all that nonsense. They're they're talking to the king with their mouths, but they're not doing anything that he said. So the Most High or Christ, neither one of them are dealing with this. This is all false worship. This is all doing your own thing and trying to graft that into what the Lord said, and the Lord ain't trying to hear it. And the Lord knows you're lying. Jeremiah 17, it tells you that your heart is deceitful among all things. So y'all just fooling yourselves. Go ahead, verse 9.
Verse 9. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men.
In vain they worship me. In other words, what is vanity? What does that mean? Somebody on the comments, look up the word vain. V-A-I-N. What is that dealing with? Give me a definition for the word vain. Give me a synonym for it. You have a synonym for vain?
1 second.
Officer Gadal, I got it. Empty or useless. So the Most High is telling you, but in emptiness and useless, they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. What's a commandment of men? Easter. So-called white man gave you your Easter. The Lord didn't. The Lord never told you to celebrate Easter. Because the Lord knows what that goes back to. He's all-knowing. Cons, the car one you got, it means nothing. So you can't say Lord, Lord, and you love Jesus and then celebrate Easter. You got to come the way the Lord said. It says in this same book, about 8 chapters earlier, enter ye through the straight gate. Let's get that. Matthew 7 and 13 real quick.
So this is the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse... Matthew chapter 7, verse 13.
Come on. We're going to get 13, 14, and 15.
Verse 13. Verse 13. Enter ye at the strait gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat.
Okay, so it's telling you wide. It's telling you straight. Or broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. In other words, you're supposed to be going the straight gate, just following one set of rules. Trying to expand that and broaden the belief or the task. That's what's going to anger the Lord. You're going too far off track what he put out there. Broad is the broad gate, or the broad path is on the way to, is a way to destruction. Easter is the broad path. Passover is the straight gate. Our people got to learn to keep the Passover and start ignoring Easter. We see more people every year. It hasn't failed yet. I came into the truth 2012. Every year it's more and more brothers and sisters at the Lord's Passover. This year is the most we've had, period. And it's only going to get bigger next year. More and more people are coming to this truth because they're coming through the straight gate. They've had enough of the world. They know that that's a lie. And they got the strength enough to say the ways of the so-called white man and the ways of the Christian church is wrong and it's a lie. We got to follow the path the Most High said. We got to please the Most High, and we got to keep the instructions of the King. The King meaning Christ. Go ahead with verse 14.
Verse 14. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. Okay,
this is why we know only 1/3 of Israel is going to be saved in those last days, because too many brothers are going to be about the broad gate and not want to follow the straight gate. You know what I'm saying? They don't fear the Lord enough to follow him the way he said follow. They're going to be too busy trying to keep up with what the world said. The world says it's okay to celebrate Easter, so our people are going to do it. The world says it's okay to celebrate Christmas, our people are going to do it. The world says it's okay to be a homosexual and a lesbian, our people are going to do it. The world says it's okay for our women to commit to have abortions at $1 million a year. They're going to do it, unfortunately. Sell drugs, do drugs. That's not the narrow way. That's not the narrow way. That's not the straight gate. Go ahead, verse 15.
Verse 15. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves.
A false prophet will let you celebrate Christmas and this Easter. A false prophet will tell you it's okay to be a homosexual or a lesbian. False prophet will tell you it's okay to hate and kill your brother. False prophet will tell you, like our leaders have always told us, keep our eyes on the prize and build up America, which America has been condemned by the Most High from the beginning. But a false prophet is going to tell you to give your total spirit to America, serve America, join America's Army and Navy and Air Force and Marines, take part in building up America, and we're all one in God's eyes, when the Lord never said that, because he ain't with all people. He ain't with all nations. He only deals with one nation, his nation. He only put his name on one nation. We got to do it his way and just be done with every other false way. Go to Daniel 7:25.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 25. And ye shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
Who are the saints? The saints are the children of Israel. So we're talking about, so this scripture that Daniel's talking about, he's talking about the nations. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And they shall be given into his hand until a time, and times, and the dividing of time.
Okay, that's why we're in the hands of these nations now. You know what I'm saying? They're speaking great words. They're telling you that they're the children of God. They're telling you that God loves everybody. And the Bible disputes both of those claims. So our enemy is doing what he's supposed to. He's a false prophet. The fact that he's an Edomite tells you he's a false prophet, because the Lord ain't gonna put his word on no Edomite. And he's speaking great things. He's taken a position of leadership over our people for a certain dispensation of time. Go ahead, verse 26.
Kalakasa, verse 26. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion, to consume and to destroy it until the end.
Okay, so he's got dominion right now, but it's going to be destroyed. And it's going to be by the hands of the Most High that it is destroyed. I tell y'all, every class and every camp speaking, you all are a witness right now to the fall of an empire. This wicked, disgusting, amoral, sodomite empire is on the way out. And the Lord is going to destroy it. Give me verse 27.
Kalakasa. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatest of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom.
Future prophecy. Once we get the kingdom, we're going to hold the kingdom forever. It's going to be an everlasting kingdom. Go ahead.
And all dominions shall serve and obey him.
And all dominions, so all who?
And all dominions shall serve and obey him.
All the nations are going to serve and obey him. The him in that day is going to be Christ. With the 12 tribes of Israel right there. It's going to be our kingdom. Future kingdom is ours. Go to Romans. Romans 15 and 4.
Romans chapter. What's the chapter?
Romans 15 and 4.
It's the book of Romans chapter 15 verse 4.
This is another one y'all should highlight. If you got your highlighters and you got your scriptures, this is another one y'all should highlight. Go ahead.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Everything that we read, because we were mostly in the Old Testament scriptures today, but everything that was written, you're reading that in the book of Romans in the New Testament, everything that was written in this Bible was written for our learning. So all the prophecies and all the words of the men of the Lord telling you that these traditions of men like Easter and like Christmas and like Sunday worship, they're telling you that these are abominations to the Most High. And you're sinning if you provoke the Most High to anger doing them. The reason these are written down is because when you come back into your nationality, who you are, you're supposed to immediately, what's the proper word? You're supposed to embrace or take in everything these scriptures are saying, because read it again, Romans 15 and 4.
This book of Romans chapter 15 verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Because those, we have hope, but we understand that hoping alone is not going to help us. We got to be doing the work. We got to be putting our brick in, and we got to be doing the work that's required of us. Getting out on them streets and going, even among our family members and telling them the truth, showing them the truth, and getting them out of this low state, getting us out of the bottom. One way we do it, we got to do away with everything America taught us. Everything these nations, especially Esau, taught us. And just do away with them and just hang on what the Lord gave us. Once you realize you're Israel and you know that you're the people of this book, you got to put away everything that this disgusting empire told you was righteous and just deal with what the Lord said. This is the last scripture. Leviticus 23:2.
So this is the book of Leviticus chapter 23, verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, concerning the feast of Yahweh, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Even these are my feasts.
So that's the cut on Amos 5:21. These are his feasts. You're supposed to do the Lord's will. And the Lord's will is Passover. The Lord's will is the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which we're in right now. The Lord's will is the Feast of Tabernacles. The Day of Atonement. That's the Lord's will. We have to do his will and just put away everything else. Hate every false way, like the scripture said. Let's go ahead and close the class. 1 John 4:20. After these scriptures in 1 John, we're going to have security announcements.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 20. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he hath not seen?
This is how Christ checked your spirit. You can't say you love the Most High but hate your brother. And if you hate your brother, you're going to definitely keep Easter. You know what I'm saying? You're going to definitely keep Christmas. We were all at the Passover. You know why? Because we loved our brothers and we loved the Most High. So we kept a righteous holiday. We kept an ordained holiday the Lord wanted us to keep, according to what we just read in Leviticus 23. Did you get verse 21, or you done that already?
I already read the verse.
20 and 21?
One second. Verse 21. And the commandment have we from him, that he who loveth God love his brother also.
You love the Most High, you love your brother also, period. That's going to end the brotherhood class for today. Give you a tad bit of history in the scriptures, but that's all good. We're going to continue bringing this out every Tuesday. The ISUPK Brotherhood in Dallas. I'm going to go ahead and pass the class over to Precinct Officer Hadazan for security announcements. Shalom. Come on. I got him up there. Come on. Up there waiting on me.
This is the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK star of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into a school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shut themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18 verse 21. Malachi chapter 3 verse 8 through 10 means tenth in the Hebrew. Ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, a free will offering for priests. It's not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. We'll be ending the Feast of Unleavened Bread on Sunday. Sundown. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black: boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, we'll now be giving a courtesy salute to the brothers. Mav Israel, Ahmad Shabbat, Ahmad Barak, Yahweh Shabbat. We'll now be giving a courtesy salute to the sisters. Mav Israel, Ahmad Shabbat, Ahmad Barak, Yahweh Shabbat. And with that, class dismissed.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isubk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're one